Welcome back to the channel, everybody. Today we're talking about how to use your jab to the best of your means possible if you're a Muay Thai fighter or a kickboxer who just doesn't feel super comfortable with this. If you're not somebody who's going, okay, every time this guy leaves a little opening, I'm gonna touch him in the head, gonna move around, touch him. You're not a boxer. Maybe you're not as comfortable using this as a range finder, something to set everything else up. But there are still great ways that you can use it to disguise kicks or various other elements which are going to up your game. Today we're talking about all that. We are down to the very last day of the glove giveaway. If you haven't got entered already, this is your last chance. Glory, Leone, 12-ounce gloves, Velcro, which can go on your wall. I'll sign them if you want, or you can take them to the gym and have an awesome new pair. Throw those down there and let's get into talking about this jab. This jab, which if you're not a boxer, and I'm sure you've heard boxing announcers all the time saying, you gotta fight behind your jab. And you see people who are just so deadly with it. But if that's not you, you don't feel super comfortable with it or confident, what else can we do? Well, the very first thing that you can do from outside jab range is to make sure you keep this hand just moving. You just do this. You could be bouncing around, you could be a Muay Thai fighter, just doing that motion. Putting something out there, even if you're not actually intending to hit somebody, it's gonna make a massive difference because the person in front of you is just gonna have to react to that shot. And that's the very first thing that you can do. Just keep them thinking, If you're bouncing a little bit more, just fake, add that in. It's an absolute must if you wanted to do something with that lead arm aside from effectively land the jab. The second thing which you can do is make sure that you stick your hand out once in a while. You don't have to always rechamber it really fast. If you can stick your jab like that, it lines up other things. This is not an effective jab that's necessarily going to damage the person time and time again, but it's going to create a problem for them. And then from there, you can find an alternative opening. So for instance, if instead of going boom, trying to hit the person hard, I just go a little out of range and I just kind of stick it there, but then I go, oh, look at his hands are up, and I hit him down to the body. Or I stick him there, and then I come around the side before he has a chance to adjust. Stuff like that, again, is very effective. And while it's not a damaging jab, it will still help you land other shots. Now here's where it gets really fun. When we start using this to set up these. Now, classically, people are going to say jab to round kick, but a lot of people expect that. As soon as somebody throws a left hand at me, right away I'm getting light on this foot because I know, okay, once they throw here on a jab or a hook, they're most likely going to come with a low kick or a round kick off to the side. Either way, I'm prepped for it. The way I like to use this jab is to hide my foot switch behind it. So instead of me going jab, switch, he sees it, and then he can block it at the same time. Maybe I jab, I'm into my foot switch. And now from there, boom, I can come across and catch them on the arm or to the body or even to the head before they've had a chance to realize, oh, that punch is no longer a threat. And it's exiting, oh, but here comes the kick. That is a fantastic way. Similarly, we can do this with a knee. The jab, we might go, okay, I'm sticking my jab, I'm out of range from my knee, but again, I can skip my feet as I throw, get myself into that range, and either keep my hands out there to really distract them, or one of my favorites is just to hit, pull across, and then drag my hands in this direction across my face. So if they do throw a straight punch, they're just going to go into the elbow. You can use that arm to protect your face. But this is, again, all disguised behind a jab, and it's the jab that is making the footwork really hard to see, whether it's keeping at range and coming with the round kick or stepping a little forward off the jab to land that knee. The last way to really focus in on using the jab without actually trying to create damage with it is to use it as a blinder before you throw a spinning kick. I have seen so many times. I have done this so many times myself where I'll be standing here and I'll just try to bust out a spinning hook kick in a fight. Whoa. And I'm like, well, shoot, it didn't land. Yeah, no wonder, stupid. I didn't disguise that technique. If I'm standing here and I give him that first, boom, and then I come to my spinning hook kick, or boom, I come to my spinning side kick, both times I've disguised the spinning technique, so it's less likely that they're gonna see that initial transition across when I do that 360 into my spinning technique. When you can do that and disguise things behind the jab, those spinning kicks are so much harder to see coming. So right there you have 5 ways. 5 ways to effectively use this jab without actually going, oh, okay, I actually have to use it to try and create damage. It's just all about finding alternative ways to land other techniques using this as a disguise, more or less. So if you are somebody who's been struggling with your jab, you go, it's not one of my favorites, I don't love working it. Well, now you have a way to bring it into your game without actually having to go, oh yeah, I actually have to try and touch people all the time. This is a fantastic way to add this into your arsenal without actually having to go, oh, my least favorite technique, and I'm actually having to work it all the time, which I really don't want to do. So let's call it there, everybody. Thanks for joining me today. As always, train hard, and I will see you back here soon for another video.